I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Uniwigs Topper Education. Tonight we are going to be talking about all things related to hair toppers, specifically gearing towards those who are beginner to toppers. But of course, if you have any questions of any kind, you're always welcome to ask away at any time because we are here to help for sure. I'm just going to take a second here to make sure that everything is set up well. I'm just going to ask when you arrive, hello, let me know where you're from, and also let me know, hi, thanks for being here. Also, let me know if everything is okay in terms of, I know I'm fiddling with the camera a bit, but I want to make sure that you're seeing me okay, that you're getting enough space here, that the volume is okay, you have all that you need to be able to actually see these toppers well. So just let me know if everything's okay for you, please. And then we'll get started. I think we're at a good height here so you can get nice and close. Hi to the Uniwigs team. So they're standing by, which is so great. Hi, Carlotta. Nice to see you again. So they're standing by if you have any questions as well. They're going to be helping out. So in terms of when I show pieces, they're going to be able to pull up the style with a direct link to the Uniwigs website where you can actually check it out, look at the color options, look at the length options, see any other details about the piece, whether it's in stock currently, that type of thing. So they'll be linking all of that below and answering any questions that I'm not able to answer. So feel free, ask anything that you would like. Thank you so much for letting me know that everything is working out. It's really nice to see you here. So tonight is a little bit about beginner stuff. Now I know some of you, I'm already seeing familiar faces, are not beginners, and that's okay too, because the last time we went live together, there was so much amazing help happening in the comment section where people were asking questions and then other topper wearers were answering those questions, and it was just a really cool community experience. But I have been getting an increase lately, probably because it's the new year, about questions pertaining to like, how do I know which cap to pick? I get a lot of messages that are just kind of like a blanket statement of, okay, I've decided that I want to get a topper. Which one do I buy? Which one's the best? That's a question I get a lot, right? Which one's the best? And it's like, well, there's so many more questions that we have to ask. So that's something else that we can do here tonight is try to get through some of those questions and help troubleshoot where people are finding that they're being kind of like stuck. So I'm pretty open to how we start this tonight, but I did kind of have a thought because on my canvas head, I actually have, and I don't know if you're visiting me from Instagram, but my last Uniwigs Instagram reel was featuring this piece here in a ponytail. And it got so much favorable feedback. So many women were sending me messages about it. They were so surprised by how natural it looked in a ponytail. I thought maybe we could just start with that tonight, because I was even not sure. I'm always like a bit of a scaredy cat when it comes to trying new styles. I don't know about you. Let me know in the comments if you are also nervous about trying different styles when it comes to wearing your hair topper, your alternative hair. And so I didn't know, but then looking back on the video, I thought, yeah, it does look really natural. So I was pretty excited to see that this is going to be a perfect piece for those types of updos. Hi, Jeffrey Johnson. Did you measure your own head to determine the right size topper? That's a great question. So it is recommended, and Uniwigs does have a size guide online that you can look up. You should probably know your measurements, but I feel like when it comes to alternative hair, I'm just going to grab my measuring tape. When it comes to alternative hair, knowing your measurements is important, but also just kind of rolling with it a little bit and making adjustments to what you end up settling on until you make your second purchase down the line is something that you just have to kind of go through, if that makes sense. So when I first started my journey, I started with a 7x7-ish cap. And that was based on measurements. So I took my head measurement. I'm actually a small head, and I decided that that was what I needed in terms of coverage. But what ended up being the case is that my most comfortable piece was actually the Uniwig Savannah. I'll show it to you in a little bit. It's a 9x9 cap, which is quite big for a small head, but it just ended up being my personal preference. So like, yes, measurements are good, but you're also just going to find what you like when you start wearing toppers. And part of that just comes with time. So do we want to do a little measuring exercise just to see what that might be? So flexible measuring tape measurements for toppers are across this way and then back this way. So if you see something that has a measurement of 7x8, which I believe is the measurement of upgrade Courtney, then you would be going like 7 across here and then 8 back that way. And then the Savannah that I talked about, that's 9 by 9, it would be the same thing. So it's kind of like across and then back. So it's just going to give you a little bit more coverage. Done this done. Does that mean where are we from? Maybe. I'm in Canada. I have had them never get it on right with clips. You mean you've never been able to successfully put on a topper with the clips? Is that like, are you having a hard time with the clips clipping into your own bio hair? If you could just clarify for me, please, then we'll see if we can try to help you out on here tonight. I love the halo wires. Yes, so the halo wires are a great way to minimize the use of the clips. I'm looking, and this one doesn't have a halo wire in front of me. I actually sewed and made a video. I finally filmed a video, but I have to get it uploaded still. Earlier this week, a halo wire onto a topper that didn't have one, just to see what that experience would be like, because a lot of the new toppers come with halo wires, but if you are someone who already owns a Uniwigs topper, it may not have a halo wire attached. So I gave that a go. It wasn't very pretty, but it worked, and it was easier than I thought it would be. So that's good. I'll show you what it looks like actually, as soon as I find the one that has my handy sewing work. It's less than handy, let me tell you. So here's an example of one that comes with the halo wire, if you haven't seen these before. So your standard topper comes with clips. Now, Uniwigs does use really great soft close clips. They're gentle on hair. They're my preferred clips. But they also now have this halo wire, and they attach it just to the outside of the lace area or the monofilament area, depending on the cap construction, and then it just hooks in like a bra strap adjuster. So it doesn't have to be on there, but you can add it. So they typically, when they come with it, it's not attached. When you get the box with your topper, you'll have those lace breeze, large size, which they've got there in truffle brown. So it doesn't come with it attached. This comes separately in the box, and then you just hook it in and adjust it to size. So if you are someone who has an older topper, you can just order from Uniwigs. I'll show you, this isn't it? Oh my goodness. I gotta find, I used the one that I usually show on screen. I used it to sew onto that topper on the weekend. So I'm searching for a halo wire to show you. Maybe I don't have one handy, but anyway. So I just went ahead and I sewed it onto my Chinese Remy Human Hair Upgrade Courtney, and I just attached the same thing right there. So it actually, when you buy the halo wire, it comes with the little piece of material. It's not very expensive. And then I just sewed it right in. So I just copied what was on the other one. So I'll have that video up soon for you to reference. So if you have the halo wire, you'll find that it takes a lot of the work out of the clips, which is kind of nice. And some women wonder if this is going to work for them if they have a flat occipital bone. I have a flat occipital bone, like really flat. I'll show you before I put the halo wire on so you can see. And it still works for me. It slides a bit, but you just pull it down over the course of the day, or you can even clip it into place, but it will, the tension from the clips around, you know, the crown or wherever you've got your topper clips clipped in. So there's my non-existent occipital bone. And I'll just put this on. I'm going to look at the comments as well at the same time. Sorry, oh, that's an interesting comment. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I am so behind on these. More showing, please. Yes, sorry, I talk too much. I have a bad habit of that. Okay, so there's the closed lace. I need my mirror a little bit closer to me. So when you're applying this, you just kind of want to make sure that you're getting, if you're wearing it to the front hairline like I am. So I'm not blending my biological hair. Most women you see installing toppers, they're going to blend their bio hair in. But I have such a weak hairline that for certain toppers, I won't. I just go right to the front. So that's what I'm going to do with this closed lace. So I'm just going to make sure I don't have any hair. I do have some hair stuck in there. And then we'll clip it into place. Is there anything special about Chinese? Halo Warriors magic changed everything. Absolutely. Hi, Ashley. Thanks for being here. Okay, so going back up about the hair clips not being working for you, I do recommend either a little bit of backcombing or even some root spray. So something like either some hairspray or a little bit of something like a hair root spray you can just buy it at the drugstore can help to give a little bit of grip to the topper clips. I don't personally use it, and I have very thin, slippery hair, but it is something that works for a lot of ladies. So you can try to do that if you're struggling to get those clips to hold. But with the halo wire here sitting at the nape, it really takes a lot of the pressure off of the clips. So it's not a huge deal to me if the clips are not super attached. I also put my clips on very gently. I do not like them to be, I used to be, when I first started wearing toppers, I would really pull down and I would really clip in aggressively. And then of course it would hurt by the end of the day. So now I just barely clip them in. And I was once caught on a tarmac with a barely clipped in topper, silk top, so heavy, right? But then it goes to blow and it could lift. And I was okay. I was a little nervous when I realized it, but it was okay. So I think I feel pretty safe now after all of that experience. Okay, anything bigger than 7x7 is too big for me. And that might be the case, right? This is my personal preference to go for the larger toppers. It's not going to work for everybody. Okay, the halo wire is magic. Anything special about Chinese hair? So the Burmese hair is going to dry more wavy when it's washed, and the Chinese hair is going to dry a little bit straighter. So it depends on the look that you're trying to achieve. If you're someone who really wants this sort of sleek look, then going for Chinese Remy human hair is going to be easier to achieve. But if you are someone who has curly hair or wants to achieve a curly haired look, then going for Burmese can be great because it has a lot of natural wave, natural texture, natural curl to it that you can really, really work. And as a curly haired girl, I feel like it's nice, but potentially if it's an option for you to have both, having both can be really nice because you can really scrunch up, really work the curl in the Burmese, and then have an identical piece with the Chinese Remy human hair. So something like Upgrade Courtney, you can get in both, and then you could have kind of like one that's sleek and straight and curled like this, and then one that's kind of left in a wavier condition. So depending on the day, you can, in your mood, you can change it up. I just got my Breeze topper yesterday, and you were disappointed. I watched so many videos to get the topper, but the back is not very full. Well, so it is closed lace. So there is going to be, with the larger topper, you do get more coverage, but there's still going to be a limit in terms of how much topper coverage you get. So if you're looking for it to completely cover your bio hair, then you might want to go for something that has a lot more density, like a silk topper. So the Savannah 9x9, I will throw it on soon. I often end up leaving it on most of the live because I love it so much, but that's going to give a lot more coverage, and I can show you what that would look like in a second. So here's Breeze on me at the back so that you can see, and you will see, this is my bio hair sticking through. It's a little bit too long for this topper. So you can see that it's kind of essential to have the right length, but then it also allows you to see how much of my hair is covered with Breeze when I turn around. So it's not full coverage, but it's pretty good for me. I don't looking for it to feel more full because of the hand-tied nature of the top part here. You can really get some lift at the top. The wefted part is going to be a little bit different though. Oh, hey, Susie. Nice to see you on here. Thanks for being here. Oh my gosh. I said earlier on my Instagram, for anyone who is over there, I get so anxious. I get so many jitters about doing this every single time. So seeing a familiar face is it just helps. I'm talking to friends. Just all friends here. I have to start using wigs. That looks fabulous. Thank you. I think it looks fabulous. And I do think that I said this the last time I went live, and I feel like I'm always going to say this because when I started wearing hair toppers, I was wearing the silk top a majority of the time because it gave me really good coverage. My bio hair is so thin. And about 2 years ago now, I started wearing wigs pretty consistently. For backstory, I'm a high school teacher. So for some of you, changing hair every day is like others, you're more concerned that people are going to notice. You're worried that people are going to talk when you change your hair up. So that's always kind of been me. So I pick a piece or a style and then I stick with it and alternate them. I always have a piece that's clean. I'm not wearing the same hair every day, but I'm wearing the same style and it looks the same day to day. So I made that shift. And once I made the shift, I had to kind of commit to the style for the rest of the school year. Had this piece existed, I probably wouldn't have made the jump into wigs. Maybe still, because I feel like the closed lace is just the perfect, for me, the perfect topper. It has everything that I'm looking for in that. I feel like you don't need to blend it. You can wear it right to that front hairline. The halo wire helps to bring it nice and close to the forehead. So it's just a really easy one to wear. And I do think it's really beginner friendly. So if you're looking to get into them, for sure. And if you're someone who's watching this and you're saying, oh, I need to get into wigs, that looks like so much fun, it really can be. And if you have your own bio hair, you can make it look even better than this one looks on me right now, because you can blend your own bio hair out. So you would just wear it a little smidge back and pull your bio hair out, and it would just seamlessly blend and give you the lift that all the celebrities are doing anyways. A lot of them on the red carpets are wearing wigs, or increasingly we are starting to detect toppers on the red carpets. But thank you for the kind words. My Courtney topper seems to slide back on the hairline slightly. Oh, sorry, I'm having a hard time. I think I need something there so I can read it. There we go. I use the clips and the wire. What should I do? I don't have a large amount of hair. Is it the Courtney with lace, or is it just the upgrade Courtney monofilament? Nancy. This is truffle brown. Yeah. Such a good color. I used to shy away from it for a while because it didn't match my bio hair, and then I box dyed my bio hair in. Now it matches really well, and I love it. I just think it's such a good neutral. I really love neutral to ashy, and it's hard to get in human hair. The natural pigments in human hair, when they bleach the hairs, that red just kind of comes through. But this one is a really good kind of medium color that's just in that neutral range. So I really enjoy this one. Does the Chinese hair curl easily? It curls relatively easy. We can do a piece together. I actually have my flat iron on. So let's just try that and see how it goes. I want to hear back about the Courtney as well, so I can deal with that. Is the Breeze Chinese or Burmese? So this is Burmese, but it hasn't been washed yet, which is why it doesn't have any wave to it. I do believe, though, the Uniwigs team can correct me if I'm wrong, that they can do a lot of things as custom. So I suspect that if you wanted to get this one, which is the Breeze in Chinese hair, they would probably be able to do that. You just need to talk to their team. I wear the Chinese hair, it curls easily. There you go. I wear hair hats, which are fun. Yes, wearing a hat with hair is a whole different experience, because when we have hair loss, we tend to wear hats a lot, right, to hide it. But we're also used to seeing our hats with very little hair underneath. And then you wear a topper underneath your hat or something like that, and it just gives you so much confidence. I did that a couple of weeks ago to pickleball. I just wore bio hair straight and then put a topper. I just kind of stuck it on top. I didn't even clip it in. I should have brought a cap down here to show you. And then I just made a loose bun, messy bun in the back. And so it just looked like I had a lot of bio hair, even though we all know I don't. Okay, so we're going to try doing the Courtney Chinese Remy human hair. We'll do a curl in it to see how that looks. So yours does not have, I just saw it, no lace. So I also find personally that the regular upgrade Courtney without lace slides back for me a little bit as well. And I think it's just because my hair is so slippery and it's the size of the cap. So that's why I really love, I'll show you the difference with Savannah. The cap has a lot of stretch to it, so it can really pull down far on my head and conform. Whereas Courtney is a little bit less flexible in that kind of way, but attaching a halo wire will make a big difference. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you. Okay, so this is the upgrade Courtney with the halo wire, but this is not Chinese hair. So this is the, oh, maybe it is. I lied. You know what? You know how I knew the difference? I'm holding the soft dusty ash brown and the regular ash brown, dusty ash brown in my hand, and I got them confused for a second. So I had the halo wire in the original one. This is the Chinese. So we'll curl this one together. So if you were wondering, by the way, the difference between the two ash brown colors, here you can see it on camera. So this is the soft dusty ash brown, and this is the original. So just that slightly brighter pop of highlights, but overall, very, very similar colors. I can show those in more detail if anyone's curious later. But I'm going to put on the original dusty ash brown because it's the Courtney with the halo wire, and maybe that'll be the thing that you'll find you want to try to make the difference so that you don't have any sliding. My Courtney is the mono no lace. Uniwigs, are you going to bring out the Breeze in Chinese? I love my Breeze in Airy Galligan, so like a straight option. I can appreciate that. Having one of each would be so nice. So then you can have one that's really sleek and straight, and then one that's a little bit more wavy. So I just want to show, I don't know the name of the person who was talking about, you are using a halo wire and clips and it's still sliding back. That I don't know. I'm not sure. Have you been using anything to get your hair to be grippier with the clips? Like, have you tried using any, what's the word I'm looking for? I just talked about it earlier, root spray? Or, so I feel like the reason why is because it clips, for me anyways, it clips up here, which is just where my baby fine hair is, right? The one thing I would try to do to avoid having it slip back is kind of almost like, you can almost push forward, right? With your clips when you're installing them in the back. So rather than pull far down, just scoop your hair and then kind of push it up. I'm almost bald on top and the back of my head. My hair hats have synthetic hair in a ponytail. It's curly and dark brown. I train horses. Yeah, I feel like that would be a really comfortable option too, especially if you're outside at the barn. Why do I wear a wig? Because I feel better with one. And because they're so easy, I don't have to spend hours on my hair anymore. I used to spend forever trying to style my hair and cover all my thin bits, and now I don't have to do that at all. I just get out of the shower and I'm good to go. We don't have a planned custom order, so contacting Uniwig support if you would like the ability to have the Chinese Remy human hair. Thank you for the kind words. Nancy. I'm sorry, now I choked on water, but I'd love to know, Nancy, if you've been using anything to get it to stick. So like you basically install it the way I install it, and then you're experiencing it sliding back still, and you have the halo wire in there. But why do I wear a wig? I wear a wig because I have hair. I have alopecia, and it's progressively thinned over the years since having children. And so wearing alternative hair just gives me a really easy way to get ready, get out of the house, and kind of feel like my old self again. So that's why we wear alternative hair. Haven't tried root spray. What is it? Where do I find it? So grocery store. There is, okay, so you can get a topper grip. It's patented, so there's only one company that sells it. But I haven't used one myself. The best thing that I've experienced is the halo wire. Now, maybe you do want to try a topper grip because it does have a wider band, but it's still going to clip where the clips go. Actually, you know what? I have a few more ideas for you. Let's just try this out. So, oh my goodness, it's a disaster. My basket is a disaster. But, oh my gosh, I have a hairnet attached to my barber's Velcro. But you could try, oh my goodness, my Velcro is really giving me a hard time. Okay, there we go. So you can buy this stuff really inexpensively on Amazon or whatever. I don't worry, Sandra. That's the beautiful thing, is that once you discover something that works, there's no worrying. You just put it on and enjoy your life. So there's no worry. Don't feel bad for those of us who are doing this, because it's a privilege, and there are a lot of celebrities who actually are wearing alternative hair all the time. And I don't think anybody feels bad for Ariana Grande when she's wearing a wig. So it's okay. We are definitely just here to have fun and try to make lemons out of lemonade. I haven't tried any root spray. Okay, so the root spray, I'll start with that first, Nancy. So this is like the L'Oreal magic root cover up. But like if you anywhere, any drugstore, grocery store, you go into the hair aisle where there's the hair color kits, they'll have a bunch of different brands of these. So you can just grab one. The problem with it is that, well, one, it is a good thing to cover up roots as well. Like I've got a big patch of gray here that looks like it's completely a bald area, but it's actually just gray. So it would cover that well, but it does transfer a bit, or at least this one does. And so I don't like using it. And it really does make my hair very thick and almost like tacky where I use it. So if I spray it here, I did that one night before a live, and then I ended up with kind of, because I was putting toppers off and on all night, I ended up with like a black smudge all over my forehead. But if I was to try to use it for the topper clips, you know, right here and here, and I knew that, you could just spray it, pop it in, and it really will thicken up, kind of like a hairspray. It's got that kind of, I don't know, it's like a thickening agent almost, it feels like. The other thing that you could do is take a bit of baby powder, like the cornstarch baby powder, and just try to work it in kind of like dry shampoo. I don't use the aerosol dry shampoos, but you could use baby powder or dry shampoo, put it in and really kind of shake it up in that area, and then try to get the clips to adhere. But the other thing that some women do is they use the Velcro. And so you can either try, and I don't know how exactly you would do this, to, I guess, some tape, probably double-sided tape or something, to put it along the front here. So this is something I've seen women doing since I started wearing toppers 6 years ago. They would put like a little bit of that, and then it sticks to their bio hair. But you could also just cut it and then put it inside the clip and then scoop your hair. And then it would, but you'd have to be careful taking it out. You don't want to damage your own bio hair, but there are a lot of women who swear by this stuff. I actually just have it because I use it for pinning the hair back whenever I have to cut lace or something like that on a topper or a wig. Then I just slide the hair back and keeps it out of the way. But I do think you could probably get away with something like this. I could even try it right now, see how it goes. The only problem is it's not going to clip in really well because it's not quite long enough to go in between these two. Should we try it? We'll try it and see. I ordered the grips and I can't wait to try them. Yeah, that would be, let me know how that goes if you wouldn't mind, because I would love to know how that works with a cap of this size. Do you sell bondable toppers? I don't believe they do, but that's a question for the Uniwigs team. They can get back to you on that in the chat in a second. Thank you, Nui. Oh, it just went on me. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through these comments here. I don't want to miss anybody's questions. Grips, we got, started losing my hair when I had COVID. Yes, I've heard of this happening. Tried all kinds of vitamins and nothing seems to work. I am really sorry because I think you are not alone in that. I've seen a lot of women who experience COVID-related hair loss. Yeah, that's, hair loss for any reason is tough, but it's, when it comes on very suddenly, it can just be a lot to handle. Those of us who had more gradual hair loss, I think, had time to kind of adjust to it. So if there's anything I can do, you know, in terms of helping you on this path, let me know. Okay, I'm going to try this now. So I've got the Velcro. The only thing is it's causing a bigger buffer between the topper and my head, but I am able to clip it with those clips. So I feel like if you're looking for something to try, this would be an affordable, easy option. So buy yourself some of the Barber's Velcro. Must have topper application kit. Uniwig sells it. Okay, so buy some of the Barber's Velcro, cut it into a smaller piece so that you can put it just with the clips, you know what I mean, on each side, like an inch thick. And then that way, because then you won't have, right now, I have a gap now because the Velcro's there between my hairline. I also don't have the halo wire installed this time around. I had it installed last time and it makes a huge difference. But if it's just on the outside of those topper clips, I think it'll really help. I can't imagine this going anywhere. I would give that one a try, Nancy. And if it works, can you please, and if it doesn't work, can you please let me know what your experience is like? Because I would love to know if it works out for you. Okay, so, I'm scared to take it off. I'm sure it's going to be fine. Yeah, it's totally fine. Look at that. It came right out. And no hair left behind. So, Barbara's Velcro. Okay, there was a question that we wanted to talk about. Oh my goodness, I've forgotten. There was upgrade Courtney slipping back. What was the other question about? Can somebody remind me, please? I feel like there was a question that I missed and I said I was going to come back. What color is this? This is Dusty Ash Brown, the original Dusty Ash Brown on it, right? So if you maybe just bought a piece of velvet material or you had some around your house, you could just cut a little square and then insert it with maybe. I think Velcro is going to be the best because it does have grip and it's not uncomfortable. When I had it on there, I was worried that I would feel it poking into my scalp, but I didn't. I feel like it's going to be a good option for you. I hope it's going to be a good option for you. Thank you. There's so many compliments tonight. Thank you very much. That's really sweet of you. Okay, so we're wearing Upgrade Courtney, Dusty Ash Brown, original Dusty Ash Brown, Chinese Remy human hair. And we're going to see about curling this. Somebody asked, how easily does it curl? Now, the thing about this is that this topper has already been washed, air dried, straightened. So now to go in and, apply heat, it's not going to work as well as it would if it was freshly washed and air dried. So just keep that in mind because I've already kind of like smoothed it all out. So to add curl at this point might be a little bit, I don't know, it might not work. We'll see. I think it's going to be okay. There we go. So it definitely took a curl really well. I mean, I plan to straighten it back out because I do like this in its sleek state, but just to show there was no issues there with the curling, which is good to know. So that's the Chinese Remy human hair. Okay, we're gonna straighten it back out and then I will show you, if you're joining, by the way, hi, welcome. I haven't said hello to the people who've been popping on. So we are talking about hair toppers tonight. It's supposed to be sort of the beginner's guide. So we're answering questions as they come in, but also like, how do I know what kind of topper to start with, troubleshooting, just all that kind of stuff. So if you have any questions, please drop them and we are going to help as much as we possibly can. The Uniwigs team is standing by as well to help out. And by the way, if you're looking to make a purchase tonight, you can use Ashley 15 on any purchases to save 15% at checkout. I'm Ashley, by the way. All right, so there we go. I'm just showing for those who are popping in that this is the Chinese Remy human hair. We just applied a curl to it really quickly and it took a curl, no problem. So if you want to purchase the Chinese Remy human hair and you're worried like, am I still gonna be able to style it? Yes, you absolutely will. You absolutely will. But it's just a little bit easier to make this kind of hair texture straight and sleek or sleek with a curl than it is the Burmese. The Burmese just has a little bit more of that wavy texture, which is so nice if you actually want to have a wavy hair topper. If you are a naturally wavy hair girl and you just want to have something to match your bio hair, that's going to be a great option for you. But if you, are looking for more that salon curled hair, then you're going to want to go maybe for this as an option. Okay, let's try the soft Dusty Ash Brown. So one more look. This is the regular Dusty Ash Brown on the Upgrade Courtney. And now we have it here in the soft option. Now this one has not had the part moved around. The one that I just had on has been washed, air dried, all of that. So this one's gonna look a little bit more probably artificial on me because I haven't moved the part yet. I've been waiting to do that. I filmed some content the other day of how to move a part around, but I wanna save this one to do that down the road as well. So this line is super straight here, a little bit more than I would like, but it does show you what it looks like out of the box, which is also helpful. My hair is a lot like yours. I'm having a hard time deciding on the closed lace or the lace front. Oh yes, let's look at both of those in a moment. Thanks for being here, Sarah. And it's a great question. Okay, so this is interestingly, we were talking about Courtney slipping. This Courtney is slipping on me, but I don't have the halo wire on. And just a thought, I don't have the halo wire on, and I told you that this one was straight out of the box, which is a big key part, I think. Now it's hard because once you wash it, you can't return it. So you do kind of have to be sure of your decision before you go ahead and you start washing your pieces. But you saw this one on me just a second ago, right? Both Upgrade Courtney, both of them, both in a variation of ash brown, dusty ash brown. But this one molded to my head so well, it's been washed and air dried and then styled. So there's also that, there's like a break-in period of wearing a topper. It's kind of like getting a new pair of shoes. You just need to give it a few days and it will start to mold and conform to your head. So I can feel like this one's kind of popping up on the sides a little bit. It just hasn't conformed. It hasn't had that opportunity yet. So do keep that in mind. And actually that's a bit of a trick. Nancy, I hope you're still here. I don't know if you are, but something else that I forgot to mention is that when you are looking to get a topper to have the best fit for you, if you haven't tried this, maybe you already have, putting it on your head when it's just a little bit damp still after being washed will help it to conform to your head. I used to always just wash mine and kind of like flop them over a banister and let them air dry, and then I would put them on and it would take time for them to conform to my head again. I realized if I put it on when it's just a little bit damp at that final stage for a few hours, it really does kind of just mold into place. So that's also another great tip for getting it to fit you properly, because I can feel such a contrast between this Courtney, which is a straight out of the box Courtney. The part has not been moved, it has not been washed, and it kind of just is, you know, puffy on the top and whatever. But then the other one, so great, and it's because it's been washed and worn. Okay, so this is the soft dusty ash brown. So you can see it's very similar in some ways, right? We've got the same overall tones in there, but the front highlighted pieces, you still got like the bright face framing to soften up the face overall, but it's just not as bright. It's not as dark. The colors are a little bit more blended. In both cases, it's such a great color if you're looking to go darker as someone who is blonde or go lighter as someone who is brunette. This is a great shade. And I think the proof of that is that my hair is pretty dark right now since box dyeing it. And I feel like I can still get away with it because it's on the underside, right? So such a good color. Good morning. Thank you for being here. We are talking about hair toppers today. So we're going to look now at the difference between the closed lace breeze and the lace front breeze to decide which one is best for someone who is new into wearing hair toppers and has hair similar to mine. Hi, thanks for being here from Singapore. I'm over in Canada right now, so it's pretty late at night here. Okay, what color do we want to do it in? I don't have the original breeze lace in truffle brown. It would be nice if I had two that are the same. Let's see if I can find, I might have so I'm holding dusty ash brown, regular lace, Swiss lace luxe breeze, but I'm also going to look to see if I have a closed lace breeze in the same color. But I don't think that I do. But I do have, where'd it go? I'm losing my marbles. Okay, well, that's okay. I had something similar though. I just can't find it. Sorry, I don't like to give dead air there, so I'm going to come back to you regardless. There we go. That's what I was looking for. But I do have a mousse brown, and I have a mousse brown lace, so maybe we'll look at that. The lace is uncut on my full lace, so it'll give you an idea of what it looks like when it comes to out of the box. Okay. So we're going to look at the closed lace breeze. Is this breeze that I have in my hand? I might be lying. This looks like it's a smaller, it's Airy Elegance. I can't compare this because it's not comparing apples to apples. Sorry. Okay. We're gonna go back to the truffle brown closed lace breeze with the mousse brown Swiss lace luxe. So this is mousse brown Swiss lace luxe collection. So it's this whole area here is going to be hand tied with Swiss lace. Swiss lace is like a very, very fine, very transparent lace. So there's different kinds of lace out there. But this is like a kind of the cream of the crop when it comes to lace. So you're going to get sort of the best melt possible with this kind of lace. So this whole area here is hand tied. So that means that anywhere in that hand tied area, you're going to get kind of like a realistic looking scalp. Now, when you get really close, you will see little grid patterns in there from the lace, but it still can look so natural, and it's also super breathable, which is great. Now, the only thing you have to be mindful of when you're ordering either the closed lace or the Swiss lace luxe is that whatever you put under it is going to show through. So when I have my hand underneath and my hand is skin colored, then it looks like a totally natural scalp. If I put black under it, it's a little bit darker. So you can get around that by adding some powder to the part line or putting in scar tape, which Uniwigs will include in your purchase. So, well, I shouldn't say that for sure, but most of their purchases come with a piece of scar tape, but you can also buy it in a pack from the company. Looks like this. I've used a lot of it already, but it comes in a pack like this. And then you can just apply it to keep that skin tone in your topper. Okay, so the question was, though, which one do we pick? Do we go for the closed lace or the regular? So the regular is going to come to you like this. It is kind of pre-cut down, but you'll want to go probably a little bit shorter than that. And the regular one comes with like a reinforced lace front here. And so what this means is that this is going to sit, it's going to be less likely to fray, and it's going to sit either right at the front of your hairline or a little bit further back, and then you blend your bio hair in. No gluing will happen with this one because the hair goes right to that front hairline. With this one, you could end up using a little bit of glue or tape on this edge, and you just put that like right along here, and then it's going to create a bit of a melt on your front hairline. So I'll show you what it looks like without the glue. We're not going to apply any tonight because I would have to remove all my makeup and then glue it down and then take it off. It's going to make a bit of a mess. And I want to try on other toppers tonight as well. But I'll show you kind of how you would go about that process. Where do you order? So the Uniwigs team is standing by, and they are linking every piece that I show down below, and it'll take you right to the Uniwigs site as well. So you can find all these products there later. If you decide to make a purchase on something, Ashley 15 tonight will save you 15% site-wide. Okay. So this color we haven't seen yet tonight. It's moose brown. It's a medium brown base with sort of like caramel highlighting. It's a really popular color, and for good reason. It has lots of dimension. It was my color that I wore every day for months on end when I was wearing my Savannah silk top to school. I really like this color because of the dimension. If you are wearing a topper for the first time and you're nervous about having that topper hair match your biological hair, one of the sneaky ways to get away with having any color differential is to wear something that has dimension. The different shades are going to kind of trick the eye. And so even if your bio hair isn't a perfect match, which mine isn't, you're less likely to see it just because it's all dimensional anyway. Can I get a topper that will help with the thin hair on the top of your head? Definitely, Irene. The question is, where is that thinning? Is it like right here on the top, or is it right at the front hairline? If you could be a little bit more specific, then maybe I could help you find a topper that would work for you. Can we see the moose next to the truffle? Yes, you certainly can. Does this fit small heads? Yes. So I have a small head. I'm 21.25 inch circumference, 11 ear to ear, 12 front to back, not even 12, like 11 and a half front to back. And these fit me very well. So it can fit a whole range of sizes. Now, if you have a much smaller head, you might want to size down and go for something instead of Breeze, the Airy Elegance. But I always think big toppers, on the whole, not for everybody, but on the whole, are a really good option. So this is the truffle brown. If you'd like, I'm going to put it on in a second, so you'll be able to see them both on me once I switch over to the closed lace. So it's almost like the base of the moose brown. It's not the same, I don't think, as the truffle brown, but it's kind of maybe like a shade lighter than the truffle. The truffle's a little bit darker and then all over color. The return policy is on their website, but when you place an order, it will come with a, where is it? Oh, here we go. I have a box here. Earlier tonight, I was looking for a halo wire. If you order one, this is what it'll look like. So they will send you a card like this, and it will have all of the information you need about return policies and things like that. Return card. Then you put on, there's a QR code to scan, and you put in the information. So they do make returns pretty easy. Rosie, I like this one too. Okay, so this one is the one that's linked below. So it's Breeze in the Swiss Lace Luxe collection. Just help with thin hair. Sorry, I'm scrolling through because I think I missed some of these comments. My goal is to add length with a topper. So would Airy Elegance work, or would you suggest Breeze since it's larger? Okay, so Alpha Boy Generati. Nope, that's not who I'm looking to. Bliss Apricot. Are you're only looking to add length, or you're looking for coverage and length? Just curious. But yes, a large topper is kind of nice to use because actually in both cases, you're probably going to want to go with a large topper for length, because if you have too thin of a topper, and I can show you what that looks like in a second, if you have a small cap topper, you're going to have less coverage. And then if your own bio hair is significantly shorter, you'll see where your own hair ends and the topper starts. But if you have a lot of coverage, you can get away with a bit of a shorter length in your bio hair and longer topper. Generally though, the rule of thumb is you want to go about an inch longer on your topper than your bio hair is, but you can cheat it. And I definitely have in my life. So good option to add length for sure. Can you show mousse brown next to the truffle brown? I'm going to throw the truffle brown in just a second. Any of the silk toppers, every time I scroll up, it scrolls back down on me. Any of the silk toppers, I think someone was asking about them. Hi from Kelowna. My family is from Kelowna. 20 or 22-inch length. That I'm not sure. The Uniweeks team can answer that for you, maybe. The longest that I have is an 18-inch, but there probably is an option for custom ordering. So if you talk to their customer support, they can get, I think, almost anything for you. The density on this one, you'd have to click the link to see. I feel like they're going to say 120-ish, but it's a bit different when it's a hand-tied lace topper. If you asked a question, by the way, and I didn't cover it, feel free to ask again, just because sometimes I miss them as they pop up. So feel free, please. I don't want you to sit there and have your question unanswered. So feel free to ask again at any point. Okay, so yeah, both coverage and length. I think I'm a big fan of bigger toppers, always, almost always. Can I get oh my goodness, density, Destiny. Can I get a topper that can help with my thin hair, right? Can we see the mousse brown? I'm going to put on the truffle. Okay, I think I'm almost caught up. Sorry for the delay there. What am I wearing right here? This is the Breeze right now in Swiss Lace Luxe. Mousse brown had tons of highlights and they leaned auburn, not what I thought it would be. Yeah, it definitely has more of a reddish color than does the truffle brown. The truffle brown is more of a neutral for sure. This one leans a little bit warmer. What's the topper's name that you're wearing in the mousse color? So this is the Swiss Lace Luxe Breeze. More for the top. Okay, so we're looking for top coverage. So if you're looking more for the top, then you can get away with a smaller cap. So something like, I just had it. Airy Elegance is a little bit smaller. Also Upgrade Claire. Upgrade Claire. Let's talk about Upgrade Claire, but I am still, don't worry, if you're waiting for me to put on the closed lace again, I will. But just for the person who had the question about getting coverage just in the top part, if you just want to have coverage up here, but you have a strong front hairline, then getting a smaller topper, you could wear it further back and then just blend your bio hair over top. It will be so seamless. No one will see the line of transition. So you can get something like Claire which has a lace as well, lace area. So you can get nice lift here as well, which is so good if you need the coverage right here, because you can kind of work it. The reason why is you get little return hairs when you have hand-tied sections. I can explain that later as well if anyone has that question. And then you would just kind of cut the lace back a little bit and then blend your bio hair over top. So Upgrade Clear would be, Upgrade Clear? Is that what it's called? Or is it just called Clear? It's a good option for a small topper if you just need coverage here. Okay, so going back to which is better, do I get the closed lace or do I get the Swiss Lace Luxe? For me personally, I am a throw on and go person. I'm always running out the door in the morning. And so for me, and I don't want to have to think about anything when it comes to getting ready in the morning. Night out might be different, but when it comes to day to day, I don't change up my makeup. I don't like to change up my hair. I just really want to be able to do something that is predictable and almost like automated. So for me, having to glue, tape, or do anything like that is just not for my everyday morning. For some women, it is, and for good reason, because this is going to be a really natural looking front hairline. As you can see, I do have a few hairs stuck here that I got to move. And it might be worth it. And I'm sure you can probably do it in about 5 minutes once you have this process down pat. But having the Swiss lace front means that you would get glue or tape, and Uniwigs does give you a piece of tape, but you can buy more tape, or you can use Got2b glue or actual wig glue, and you would put it on your skin here. Once it gets tacky, you put the lace down, you hold it in place, and then eventually it just sets. And what that's going to do then is make sure that you have a nice smooth front hairline. There will be no lifting, and it's going to look really natural. Now, obviously you do have little knots from where the hair goes into the lace, but the knots with the Uniwigs piece are not super aggressive here, especially for this color. It just isn't that aggressive. As you can see, I'll get nice and close to the camera. And so, I shouldn't look up. That's probably scary for you. The other thing is you don't need to glue it down depending on your head shape and size. So I've already told you I'm a small head, but with the halo wire, I do feel like I can get away with the Swiss Lace Luxe not lifting. So glue isn't essential. It's just going to give you the best finish possible. And most women, I think, who are buying a lace front are buying it because they want that absolute seamless melt. They're going to get that if they glue it down or tape it. But you don't need to. If you're okay with just having it kind of sit there, that's fine. That's a totally great option as well. And I mean, I'm having a little bit of lace showing here, but it's also not trimmed back. So if I trim that back just a little bit with pinking shears, you can do it with regular sharp. You want to use sharp scissors because you don't want to create fraying in your lace. But you can just get yourself some pinking shears too. They have this like sort of rippled edge. Trim it back a little bit, and then it'll be pretty seamless anyway. So the halo wire is a huge help, and the large cap. I cannot do this with the Airy Elegance lace front. So I have one here I can show you. It will lift on me. But as soon as I go for the bigger breeze and the clips go further down and the halo wire pulls further down, then I can get away without the lace lifting at all. So that's an option. The second option that she was asking about is, do we go with instead the closed lace? So I'll show you what the front of that's going to look like on me in contrast. So this one, very similar cap construction in terms of the wefts, in terms of the hand-tied area, but we have this like reinforced front edge, and that is not going to allow for any glue or adhesive, not very easily anyway. By the way, if anything happens and you're watching and something's not clear, it's not coming through well, my angle isn't good, please let me know. Don't just sit by and and suffer. Let me know what you need, because I am here to help, and I want you to get out of this whatever you came in here for, because I know that your time is valuable right now, and I'm very grateful that you're here with us. Okay, so this is the closed lace. And so if this one, you can see there's nowhere to really glue. I mean, I could do it, but it would be pretty close to my own hairline. So you just have less of that gradual look to a hairline when you go with the closed lace if you wear it right to the front. So I think the intention with the closed lace is that you don't wear it to the front of your hairline. The intention with the lace front is that you do. So that's kind of like the difference in terms of why they probably created it. So I'll show you again. This is the Breeze Swiss Lace Luxe. Oh my goodness gracious. So you get kind of like that more gradual hairline. And then with this one, it's a lot more stark, right? Because I haven't blended it and I've worn it right to the front. If you have a front hairline, wear it just a centimeter back even. Pull out some of your bio hair, blend it through. It's going to look ultra natural. Even if you don't have a thick front hairline and you want to do that, you can just apply a little bit of the root spray that I talked about earlier, like this. But you can also apply the Uniwigs hair fibers like this. You just give a little and it's going to create some volume and thickening in your baby fine hair. And then you can blend through if you want. For me, really, this is kind of like the ideal because I can just throw it on and go without gluing. But because I'm not going to glue it anyways, I would probably just go with this one personally and wear it right to the front hairline. And maybe it's a little bit more obvious, but I don't think I would care. But that's me personally at this point in my hair loss journey. So I can't really tell you exactly which one to go for. There's only one that's right for you, but hopefully does that help in terms of trying to make your decision between Swiss lace and closed lace? If you have more questions about the difference between the two or anything, please let me know. I can't remember the handle of the person I was talking to about this, but I do want to make sure that you feel like you have a bit of an answer at the end of this. And if you don't, feel free to ask more questions. It is kind of hard to know, but both are going to be good once you work with them and kind of make them your own. What's the topper's name? How do you measure for head size? Can you turn? Oh yeah, sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. I should have turned around to all angles here. So my own bio hair is too long for this piece. You're going to see it sticking out at the back. And that just kind of proves that you do need to get something that is the correct length for your bio hair. Does that help? I think it was Francis. Let me know if you want me to do another turn in case you just happen to not be looking at that moment that I did a turn. Try that one, sees what it looks like. What are you wearing? Love it. Oh, I don't know when you asked that. I was wearing the Breeze Swiss Lace Luxe in Mousse Brown, and now I'm wearing the Breeze Closed Lace in Truffle Brown. So this is the truffle, and that lighter one that I was wearing a minute ago is the mousse. I'm just looking through the comments here. Of course, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. I want to make sure that every question gets answered. So if you don't have an answer yet to your question, please say it again because I want to make sure that you're getting whatever you need. How to measure your head for size? Okay, so for measuring your head, to know where the topper is roughly going to fit, just take a soft measuring tape, excuse me, and you're going to go across this way. So if it's like a 7x8 topper, this is the 7, and then front to back like this. And that's it. And then if you want to measure the length of your hair, you can go from the middle down, and you want to go about an inch or two longer with the topper than your bio hair. Unless, of course, you're willing to cut your bio hair to match the topper, which is always a good option too. The nice thing about the Uniwigs toppers, though, is that they all come pre-cut. So you can see it with this one. You don't actually have to go to a hairstylist. You can literally just make it your own out of the box, which I love because I don't trust anybody to cut my hair toppers. So yeah, they're investments, right? I wouldn't want to just let anybody cut them. So they do a really good job with these face framing pieces and just giving it a natural look. So curly toppers. Okay, so anything, if you're looking for something curly, anything that has the Burmese hair texture will dry wavy or curly. So you can see that here. This is like the Burmese texture. And I haven't done anything to it. This one hasn't been diffused or anything, but you really can work the curl into the Burmese pieces. So anything that says Burmese texture, it's going to come to you sleek and smooth like this. But then once you apply water, you wash it, you let it air dry. If you have wavy hair and you're looking for a topper to match your hair texture, then I would actually wear the topper on my head and style the topper with my bio hair. So I'd be putting in my curl cream, and then I don't know about you if you have curly hair, but I always like scrunch, and then I use a diffuser and I just kind of hold it in place. So I would do the same thing with the topper on so that it creates the most seamless blend possible. So it's a good way to go. So the Breeze closed lace was Burmese. I was reading online, correct? Yes. If I were to wash it, would it curl up? Yes. Yes, Teddy, it would definitely curl up on you, kind of like this. But you can straighten it still. So proof of that would be, oh my goodness, I just dropped my topper. Proof of that would be my Savannah. Oh my goodness, where is she? There she is. So Savannah here, I'll put her on in a minute. This is a Burmese topper that I added, loose waves to with a curling wand. So it's still going to straighten. It's just that it won't straighten as easily or as well as Chinese Remy human hair. So if you want the sleeker, straighter look, definitely ask for a piece, either buy a piece that has in stock hair or reach out to Uniwig support and then see if you can get a custom piece with the Chinese Remy human hair. But you definitely can straighten this still. It's just going to have, if you have ever worked with curlier textures before, it's just a little harder to get it straight, but it can still be done. The one nice thing is that my daughter, who was my biggest critic when I first started wearing alternative hair, always said that this was like the most natural piece that I wore, and it's a Burmese hair piece. And she said because it looked less flawless when I styled it, like it just looked more natural. It didn't have that super sleek. I had some pieces that were like from other companies that had like Brazilian hair texture, whatever. They were like super sleek, and there were no return hairs, and she was like, "Mom, it doesn't look real." So there's something nice about wearing this texture, and that it just does kind of look like human hair, which is great. I'm going to go back up and see if I'm missing any questions, any curly toppers. Try another headpiece. Okay, we're down here now. I want to see Savannah on you. Yes, Savannah and the upgrade Aura skin top, please. I will definitely do that. So the Breeze closed lace is Burmese. Yes. I think I have it backwards. Sorry. Mine, I just got his pin straight. So Teddy, are you looking to get it to be wavier, or do you like it pin straight? I'm not sure, Teddy, about the density of this one, but if you click the link, it will let you know the density. I should know. I'm sorry. I don't. I want to say that it's 120, but I'm probably wrong. Okay, so I'm going to put on Savannah and then show upgrade Aura so that you can see the difference between those two. So we're going to leave the closed lace and the lace for a few minutes. If you have any more questions about them, though, please drop them in the comments because we can come back to them for sure. I think they're kind of like the popular thing right now because they're so new, but also they're just so light and wearable. But there's definitely a place for silk top. So this is my second oldest Uniwigs piece. This is Savannah. So she's the 9x9 that's listed there at the bottom. And she's silk top. So before I put her on, I think I'll just show you what the inside of the skin top looks like so that you have a point of comparison and contrast. So silk top, unlike lace, is going to always have, always going to have that natural scalp look because of the silk that's underneath. The construction is also different. So when you have a piece of hair and you're putting it into a piece of lace, the hair goes in and then and the other end of the hair pops out. I didn't explain that well at all, did I? No, it's almost 10 o'clock at night. My brain is not working in these late night things. So if I'm trying to create a wig with lace, the hair goes in and then it comes back out. And I'm left with a little piece of hair and then my long hair. And this is called a return hair. Now the return hairs are going to add like volume overall to the hair. So even though you have fewer hairs seemingly in an area, you get like a good amount of volume, longer pieces without the return hair. Now there's a lot of density to this because they put in a lot of hair. So you're still going to get tons of volume. It's just kind of coming from a different place, if that makes sense, or in it from a different construction. So this whole area, it's a 4x4, is the silk top area. It's really flexible. It moves nicely, but also time has done that as well. Earlier, I talked about the need to like wash and style and dry it on your head and let it conform. This is conformed to my head because I wore it for so long. But it does have these wefts that are stretchy, which is really, really nice in terms of comfort and just getting a nice snug fit. So let's throw it on. And it has a comb in the front too, which is kind of nice. And it can have the comb because you don't see through it, right? So you can get away with that. And so, ooh, what's going on here? What just happened? Oh, I know what happened. I was hanging it. You know how I've been hanging them with these? I clipped it right into the hair and now I've got some wild hair going on. We'll have to tame it together in a second. Is it warmer to wear? Yes, probably. But not really. So it's definitely at this time of year, wearing alternative hair is kind of nice because I would be very cold without any, but I don't find it unbearable. And I do live in Canada, so I talk about how cold it is all the time, but in the summer it gets really hot. And I never found topper hair to be unbearable. In some ways, it's almost nicer because the sun is not beating down on your scalp because you've got the topper to kind of act as a buffer. But it will be warmer overall. It's going to be less breathable because of the silk top than a lace top will. Okay, this hair needs a treatment because I can just feel, okay, I can't curl it because this turned off on me. Turn it back on and we'll deal with that in a second. So this is going to need some winter hair treatment because I can just feel how dry. You saw how it was kind of like sticking together. It's getting knotted. It's just because it's so dry. The question was upgrade aura. So let me show you upgrade aura while I wait for my flat iron to warm up. Okay, so this is upgrade aura, which is a skin top, similar to a silk top, but different. So it still has this generous, actually this parting area is bigger on upgrade aura than it is on the Savannah. So I showed you the Savannah one. I think it's about 4x4 silk top area, which means that I could have a center part like this, but I can also go in and part on the left or the right side and still get natural looking scalp, regardless of where I part. Upgrade aura, same thing, but an even wider parting area. So you have all of this space has this natural looking scalp. And interestingly, the material that they use for the upgrade aura, I feel like it has an even more realistic looking scalp to me in some ways than Savannah. The difference is I feel like the overall fit, also the overall amount of hair that you're getting, but then also it's a little less flexible. So you maybe can hear that. You're lacking the flexibility of the silk, and the wefts aren't as stretchy. This one is going to come in at a lower price point though, and no one's going to hear that when it's on your head. So it really comes down to personal preference. This option is great. I think there's two scenarios where I would pick upgrade aura over Savannah. And that is, well, actually three. One, if I'm on a budget. Two, if I plan to cut bangs into it, because this one is a harder front hairline, I feel like, to conceal. So if you're putting bangs into it, it takes care of everything. The other one is the person who has a bit of a front hairline that they can blend, because then you can put upgrade aura, pull your bio hair over top, and not have to worry about the front hairline. Savannah, because she's so flexible, that front hairline is still pretty heavy, but you don't really see it the same way because, I don't know, just the way the cap is constructed and the way that the hair is kind of coming out of the bottom of that front edge. Do you see that? So I feel like you can get away with a little bit more. Still a great candidate for bangs if you wanted bangs, because the way that silk tops are constructed, the hair does kind of like fall forward. Some women hate that. They don't like the look of it. Some women love it. I love it. And I can see where if, I was a bang wearer, this would be so good because some of that hair falls forward naturally. It's going to look like natural bangs. But silk tops generally, people think are meant to be worn with a bit of a blend. The other thing that you can do, I'm just going to show you the difference, to conceal the fact that you're wearing it to the front hairline, if you are, instead of blending, is just to go with the side part. It really hides the fact that you're wearing a topper. I don't know if you can hear that, but I have an old cat and she's never been vocal during a live before, but she's making all kinds of noise right now. Hi, Ashlyn. Thanks for being here. Thanks, Teresa. I do think it's cute too. So there we go. There's Savannah in the side. And I feel like, do you see what I mean? It already looks so much more natural somehow, because I think when people are looking at you and they're looking at your eyes, they're probably looking up. But if the part is off to the side, it's fine. You don't even see it. So if you're just joining us, thanks for being here. We're talking about hair toppers today. It's supposed to be a beginner kind of like crash course. And so far I've only answered questions. I haven't actually given the crash course part, but hopefully we're getting a little bit of our questions answered and a little bit of insight into hair toppers, how they work, how to wear them, which ones might be the best. Oh, thank you so much. That's really nice, Francis. I thank you. One of those things I'm not very comfortable with doing after all these years is makeup still. So I appreciate that. I have a question about coloring. I have salt and pepper frontal hair and temples, but dark black, brown in the back. So are you looking to match the dark brown, or are you looking to match the salt and pepper? I will say, so I didn't do it this time, but I should almost just show you. I don't know if you saw, but I have a white streak in the front of my hair. And I tried to dye it, but it's coming back through. So right here, yeah, on camera, it looks like I'm balding. Well, I am, but this is actually gray right here. And so for the longest time, I went years without dyeing my hair. I would just do this with my hair, put my topper on. And then to create a more natural look, at the beginning, I was blending my bio hair through a little bit. So I would wear my topper just a little bit further back. Now this is gonna be lopsided because it's a center part on the topper, but I've shifted it to the side. And then I would take my bio hair, which would, in theory, back then was white all the way down here. And when I would get ready in the morning, I would just curl my hair right in. Now it looks so stark because I dyed it, but I would end up with a bit of that white hair woven through. And I actually, so for a long time, I debated, like, do I go to a colorist and try to dye my own bio hair to match the topper? Like, how am I going to handle that? And I decided that I was just going to leave it because I thought it actually made the topper look more natural when you saw my grays and whites woven through. Like, I guess it's kind of weird that you don't have any grays or whites right from the roots of your topper, but I feel like people aren't looking at that closely. And so when they see the gray, my assumption is they think, well, that's just your hair, because there's no way that you're going to have like a random streak of gray in a hair topper, right? So this is mousse brown. Oh yeah, I'll turn around. Teddy, thank you. You're going to have to remind me a lot. So good coverage in this one, I feel like. I mean, I don't see what you see right now, but I know there's going to be good coverage because it's just that silk top it's just got a lot of hair. That help? Let me know if you want me to turn again. So this one is mousse brown, but it's an old mousse brown. So, you know, when you have a hair topper, just like with your biological hair, over time, that color is going to fade. And certain things are going to cause it to fade faster. Sun, we want to stay out of the sun. Do not let the sun near it. Chlorine, we want to stay out of the chlorine pools. I mean, I shouldn't say don't let the sun near it, but baking in the sun with the hair topper is going to cause the color to fade. Washing, drying, using heat tools, these things are going to strip the color, and you will need to do a color refresh in time. And there are salons locally that can do that for you. But I try to minimize the frequency of that happening. And so I don't wash my toppers very often. I always wear them on top of clean hair. So that's a little tip, by the way. I hear about women saying, oh, I never have to wash my bio hair because I can just throw on a topper or a wig. And I'm the opposite. I will not put a wig or topper on top of dirty hair. I always shower in the morning so that I can put my hairpiece on top of clean hair. I feel like it keeps the cap fresher longer. But I do all these things to avoid washing, because when I wash, I heat style, and then that's going to strip color. So this one is older now, so it's been heat styled, and I use it for demonstration purposes all the time. So I wore it full time for several months to school. And then I continued to make content with it and show it on lives here. And every time I'm on a live, I tend to curl it and do stuff to it. So the color has kind of stripped out, but I haven't touched it up, because I think it's nice to have a piece that you can see, you know, how it's turned out. How has it kind of faded out? And sure, it doesn't look as new as a fresh moose brown piece like this. This is like a new moose brown, never been washed, not really heat styled, but you can see that it still looks really pretty. So it's nice to know how it's going to turn out long term. Thank you, Hopeful Berry. Thanks, Vicky. Would look cute teased. I agree. Are you talking about this one? About this one being teased? I think, like, if you wanted volume, Savannah is the topper for you. It can feel like a lot at first, but it didn't stop me. I still really liked this one. I felt like it was a little bit too much, but I rocked it anyways. And now, after wearing alternative hair for so long, I don't think it looks like too much hair. It will feel like a lot, though, if you don't have a lot of hair to begin with, and then you just all of a sudden have a full head. So Grave Dancer, I don't know if I answered your question about having, you know, two-toned hair and wearing a hair topper. My hair is frizzy and shows through the topper on the sides. What topper do you have, Jen? Looks terrific. Does look terrific. I think it's a good one. It's a good one. So Jen, I don't know what topper you have, but if your bio hair, so the one thing, I don't know if you have been doing it or if you're up for doing it, but certainly styling your bio hair before putting on a topper is a huge difference. It makes a huge difference, I should say. So I have biologically very curly hair. And I was straightening my hair every day that I was wearing hair toppers full time, which is another reason that I moved into wigs for everyday wear, and then toppers is like a fun thing to wear now. But if you get one of the Burmese pieces, then you can wear your hair curly with a topper, which is the ultimate in easiness. So yeah, like, but I mean, such thin hair now, it doesn't take long. Before coming down here tonight, my hair was totally curly, and then I just flat ironed it in about 5 minutes to match the topper. But it is something that goes a long way in getting the most natural look. How the pins attach inside. Yes, I will show that right now. I just want to answer this question up here. Gwendolyn has about, hi Ashley, I have alopecia. I wear lace wigs, but I don't like the inner material or wearing glue, which damage your, where did it go? Which damage your edges. Can you wear it as a wig? And how do the pins work? So no, you can't wear it as a wig because they're not as big. So do you mean like putting all your hair, hiding your hair inside the topper, I guess is maybe what you mean. So that would be hard to do. You would need a whopper, like a 11 by 11 cap. But no, toppers really, you do have to kind of blend your bio hair through, but you don't have to glue them, which is nice. So someone has asked about the pins. Someone else asked about the pins as well. Uniwigs needs to do darker colors with face highs. They do have a darker one. Maybe the Uniwigs team can help me. I don't remember what it's called because I don't own it, but it's caramel something. It's like it's a darker brown than, I think it's like a truffle brown with highlights, basically, maybe a little bit darker. This is Savannah right now with Moose Brown. Old Savannah though, like old, have owned it forever. So it's looking, you know, more, the color is more washed out. I mean, it still looks amazing, right? But okay, so the topper clips. Oh, the static. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll show you how these clips work. So they're soft close, which is really nice. So they're easy to open, easy to close. Not every company uses clips like this, and I feel like it makes all the difference, because had I started with something that was what I've seen since getting into alternative hair, I probably would have been in tears. there are aggressive clips out there, and they look, I don't know how to describe them, but they're more like jagged and they're bigger. We want to stay away from them. They might grip onto your hair very well, but they're going to cause a lot of pain. So these are the soft close clips. See how easily they open and close? Amazing. This is what you want. So they really just grip onto your hair. You can use a lot of hair or a little hair. I like to use a little. And when you have a big cap like Savannah, the cap does the work itself. And there's no halo wire in this. I could attach a halo wire to Savannah and she would be, you might not hardly use clips at all. Plus there's a front comb, which I don't personally use. I tried to put it on just a minute ago, but the truth is I just don't use it. I'll do it again with the clip. So the comb is holding everything in place right now, right? I don't actually need anything else. I could tease my front hairline. I could add some barber's tape underneath that comb, but I don't need to. And then you're just gonna take a clip like this, a little scoop of hair, and then push it into place. That's it. And then you do that all the way around your head. Now, Savannah, I'm clipping it in down here because I've got it off-centered. You really do want to put it on evenly. And then just pull down, do the same thing at the back. I don't know if I can show this very well. And that's it. So Savannah only has 4 clips, but whenever you make a purchase from Uniwigs, you get all kinds of goodies in the box, and among those goodies are often something like this. So they'll send you a comb and then extra clips, and the clips are so easy to sew in. So that's what I would recommend, is just if you want more security or you want to alternate clips, so put some clips in here and then some clips in here another day, whatever, you can just sew them in. They have like a little hole on either side. So easy to do. So you can add more of them, and then you have options. So that's a good way to go. Yeah, I know it does seem, Gwendolyn, like it could work as a wig, but I mean, I can try it right now and show you. Do you want to see what it looks like if I put my hair up? I just feel like it would be hard because, oh, good night, Brandon. Thanks for being here. Differences between a wig and a topper. Oh shoot, I have a Uniwigs wig, but it's upstairs because I wasn't planning to show it tonight. If I don't want to leave dead air here, but if my husband appears, I'm in the basement because it's quiet. But if he appears anywhere, I'll ask him to go grab the wig, and then I could show you the difference between the two, because that actually would be a really great thing to cover. So I might try to call. Oh, I can mute the microphone. I'll mute the microphone in a minute and I'll have him go get the wig. What was I just about to do though? I took this off because I was going to show, oh, right, what it would look like as a wig. So I don't have a hair elastic right now. I have a scrunchie. So I'll try to do it with a scrunchie, but I just don't think it's gonna work the same way, because it's just not enough coverage. And then the side pieces, like, I don't know. I just don't think it's gonna quite work. I don't think I would be comfortable if the wind blew, you know? I think it's like, you gotta do the wig or the topper, I think, to try to wear the topper as a wig. Like, yes, this one does have a lot of density. But see how on the sides, like, there's nothing? So I feel like there's a lot missing here. So I don't know how you would be putting your hair up, but even if you're just clipping your hair in place, there's not anything hanging down. And so that feels a little strange to me. You can see my ponytail coming through. I guess if it was pinned in place, maybe not so much, but if the wind blows, I don't know. Maybe you could get away with it. No one ever shows how the clips work. Oh, well, I'm glad that worked out for you. I mean, I hope if you have more questions, please ask away, because I mean, I want this to be the experience that you actually get all your questions answered. So makes it seem like it can work as a wig. Do we want to see the difference between the wig? I think we do. So I just, I'll wait another minute and then I'll call him. Okay. I think I'm caught up on all the questions other than the difference between the wig. It still looks great. Well, then Gwendolyn, maybe it would work for you, which would be kind of great. I've been on the fence of ordering just because of the reviews. I have a Lauren. So I can't comment on the other brand. I can't comment on the other brand because I don't own any. But I do know that, marketing can really drive up a price. I don't know what type of hair quality they use or anything like that. But what I do know is that when you order from Uniwigs, you are ordering directly from overseas, and that keeps the prices down. So, certain things that you're going to be able to get from a North American vendor are going to be different than what you can get from Uniwigs. That's just the reality. But I think that you don't always have to pay big money to get something that is wearable and that can give you confidence. Interesting story. I'll put on another topper as I do this. What do we want to see? Let me know what you'd like to see, and I'll put it on. Do you want to see Upgrade Aura on? I didn't show that one on my head. We did a hair loss meetup here in Ottawa, Canada, not all that long ago. It was in the fall. So this is the Upgrade Aura again I think it's in the light mousse brown. I actually still have the tag on this one. Yeah, it's 505R for my team at Uniwigs. Light mousse brown Upgrade Aura. And we went to this hair loss meetup. We went to a dinner, and one of the women there, she and I connected on Instagram, and I was meeting her first time in person. And I hadn't even considered what people would be wearing in terms of hair to this meetup. But it was really cute because one of the first things she said was, she made a comment about my eyebrows. I did because of your recommendation. She was using the same eyebrow pen that I've been using. And she said, and my hair, it's Uniwigs. It's, I think she was wearing Savannah actually that night. And she said, whatever, it was a Uniwigs. And she said, it's Uniwigs. And I got it after talking to you. So I thought that was really cute because, here we are, a group of women meeting to just meet our hair loss sisters. And, she has had a whole bunch of experience wearing alternative hair at this point. She's tried a bunch of different brands. They had stopped at a wig store on their way into town because they were from out of town. And she chose to wear her Uniwigs to a dinner that, for a lot of women is kind of like a nerve-wracking thing. You're meeting a bunch of wig sisters. And so I think that kind of speaks to, and she looked beautiful. But I think that kind of speaks to Uniwigs as a product, right? Like that's the thing she reached for when she went for a dinner. So I don't know. I'm not saying it's going to be the right one for you, especially if you've, purchased from a different company, but I think Uniwigs is really great for the price point, and it's just nice to have affordable options that are consistent. And that's one thing I like about Uniwigs as well is I've got a rack of pieces here that I can show, and like the consistency is there. Mousse brown is mousse brown, and dusty ash brown is dusty ash brown, and the cap constructions are really good. I have actually had experience, my husband and I, after I've told this story a million times, so if you've heard it before, I apologize, but we actually took Savannah and we lined her up beside another piece that I owned from another company that was twice the price. And the cap construction for the Uniwigs piece was not inferior in any way. Someone had made a comment about Uniwigs clips or something. And I was like, what are they talking about? Like, these are the same clips as the high-end piece, the high-end, more expensive piece that I own. And so my husband was like, let me get to the bottom of this. I really want to see. And he pulled them out and he was scrutinizing them. And the cap construction on Uniwigs is just as good, but half the price. So I don't know. I'll leave it at that. Okay, so this is Upgrade Aura in the light mousse brown. I think this is a really pretty color. So the light mousse brown, just like the light dusty ash brown, seems to be more of like a blended color. So you're still getting the same tones of the mousse brown, but they're just softer, if that makes sense. The highlights are not as stark. So I told you, this is a really good one for bangs. It's really good for blending. It's not as good, in my opinion, to wear to the front hairline. And it's because you have this ridge, and the ridge doesn't have hair coming out of it the way Savannah did. So if you're looking for something that has kind of like a silk or skin top, so it looks realistic without anything underneath it, this is a good option. But perhaps not to be worn right to the front hairline like this. I mean, you could. I don't think it looks terrible or anything like that, but I would pick Savannah in that case. But this one is super affordable. It's a nice option. You get a lot of length for a good price on this. This is the 18-inch, by the way. And it does still come with, you know, your face framing pieces. Can't wait to see the wig. Okay, I can hear him afar. I'm gonna put this on mute for 1 second and ask him to get a wig, okay? Okay, he's coming. Can you hear me again? Just let me know if you guys can hear me. Pretty please. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. He's coming from upstairs. He's on the main floor now. So he'll come and I'll ask him that. Calvin, can you just do me a favor? I have a box in the corner of the front office. It's a Uniwigs box. Would you mind bringing it down here, please? Thank you. Okay. So we have a wig on the way, which is great. Courtney and Savannah. Oh, my messages are moving. I'm so sorry. It still looks great. Yeah, it does still look great. I know. I feel like I'm a tough critic, but I want to be honest with you also, right? I would hate for someone to think that they're getting, you know, this like perfect front piece and then it's not. But you're right. It looks great. And depending on how it's styled, like you can probably get away with it and no one's going to notice, but it depends on the person. I want you to feel really, really comfortable. I feel like I can see it more on camera actually than I see it when I look in the mirror for some reason. It might just be the lighting. But could you imagine if you had bangs with this? How easy that would be to wear. Like you just get up and throw it on and go and you don't have to do any blending and any worrying. Courtney and Savannah, but I'm skipping a question somewhere. I've been on the fence about ordering. Right, okay, we saw that. I wish that one came in blonde, but it doesn't. I know, but there are some good options in blonde. The clothes lace has blondes, and the clothes lace are so pretty. Thank you very much. I think this is the one I need. We have a wig, so I'll show you the demonstration in just a second. We have about 25 more minutes, so if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below, and I will make sure to get to them before the end of this session. I like the mono tops. Yeah, Courtney's definitely a good one for you. And if you like the lace, Courtney now comes. So she's the monofilament top, but she has a lace front. So you can get the best of both worlds if you wanted. I can't wait to see the wig. When it comes to information where the wig, I believe you said needs to be a medical wig. Oh, my alopecia is so crippling and I need to get one. Okay, so I don't have a lot of experience with the Uniwigs wigs. I just have this one to show you. But maybe it will help you make your decision regardless. Will the topper come in more colors? That's a question for Uniwigs. I'm not sure, but they can do custom stuff. So if there's a specific color you're looking for, you can ask them if they can make it happen. So just talk to Uniwigs support and they can potentially get you the topper that you're looking for in the color that you're looking for. It just might not be a stock piece, so you might have to do it as a custom. Can I see the last product? Oh shoot, I don't know what the last product was. Do you mean Savannah? I'll just quickly throw it on. Dwight, do you mean the topper that I was just wearing a minute ago? I still want to show you, if you're here from the beginning, I really want to show you the one that I put into a ponytail the other day because I love how it turned out. So this is the one that I was wearing a second ago. It's Savannah. It's a silk top, 9x9 topper. This is a very well-loved one, very well-loved. So she's looking a little bit older. She still looks beautiful. Here we go. So Dwight, is that the one you're looking for? Savannah in moose brown. This is a 16-inch, by the way. 16-inch. The other one that I was just wearing was the Upgrade Aura Skin Top, and that was an 18-inch. Okay, so wigs versus toppers, crash course. So all of the cap constructions that you see in toppers also come in wigs. So we have like our silk top, you can do silk top wigs. We have lace top, you can do lace top wigs. Monofilament top, you can do monofilament wigs. So all of the same cap constructions that you see in toppers, you also see in wigs. The difference is that the wig is going to go all over your head, cover your hair as well, and it's going to be held in place instead of by clips with tension. So it's going to fit around the circumference of your head, and it's going to pull down, and that's how it's going to stay in place. So picking your cap construction for wigs in some ways is easier than picking it for toppers. For toppers, you really need to get the right construction to kind of work with your bio hair and your head shape and all of that, right? But when it comes to the wig, because it's being held down by tension, you can kind of just go for the one that you want, less so like the one that you need, if that makes sense. Can I see dark brown colors to compare? I only have, the darkest color that I have is the truffle brown, but I can put it on quickly for you to see what that looks like. But I will ask Uniwigs perhaps before the next live if we can get something in a slightly darker, like the espresso color, so that I have something to show you. Does a closed lace front show your bio hairline? So it can if you wanted to. So this is the closed lace front. So it goes right to the front of my hairline, but most people do not wear it to the front of their hairline. They wear it a little further back and they blend their bio hair through. That's how they typically wear closed lace. I just don't, because I don't like blending. So I just wear it right to the front. So this is the darkest one that I have here. It's the truffle brown. It's like a medium brown, medium neutral brown. Okay, so the wig. I can't remember who was asking about a wig, so I'm sorry, I don't remember your name. But this is Natalie from Uniwigs. So just like with their toppers, they have a range, right, of different pieces that are at different price points. The same is true for their wigs. So they do have like a colorist collection that has like hand-painted wigs. They're going to come in at a higher price point. The colors are going to be hand-painted. They're going to look a little bit more like salon ready, although this color I absolutely love, and I think it looks salon colored, but it's a super affordable wig, like a super affordable wig. So this is Natalie. She has this lace top, which extends into a lace front that's all the way down to the ear tabs. She has clips on the side, although I would replace these clips with the ones that I just showed you personally. You've got the adjuster here, so bra strap adjuster. You got a bit of an extended nape for good coverage at the back at your nape, and you've even got a comb up here for extra security. So this is Natalie. I'll throw her on, and then you can see the difference between a topper. So with the topper, here's the advantage if you're like, I don't know if I should do wigs or if I should do toppers. Toppers do require you to have a bio hair that matches the topper to a certain extent in texture, in length, and in color, because my own hair is blended through, right? So if it's totally different, like it is for this one, my own bio hair is way too long for this topper. I can't wear this out in public. I'm going to have to cut my bio hair to match the topper. So to a certain extent, it has to be a match. The nice thing about it is that when you're new to wearing alternative hair, wearing a hair topper feels like you still, like it's like an extension almost. So you don't feel like you're wearing a wig. If there's a stigma for you, if you feel like there's a stigma to wearing alternative hair, you feel it less when you're wearing a topper, right? Because you're like, it's my hair. You know, if someone's like, oh, well, it's an extension, right? You feel like you're still wearing your hair. You're not really cheating, so to speak. So that's the reason that I always liked toppers. If I do an ear tuck, I do a blend, it really kind of looks like my own hair. If I pull it up in the back and do a ponytail, you know, it's my own hair sticking through. So I felt like that was really a good first step for me. Toppers, wigs on the other hand, you're tucking all of your hair away. And there is a benefit to that in that getting ready takes even less time. And you don't have to have a textural match, nor do you have to have a color match. You can wear any wig you want in any color, and it's no big deal. I'm just going to take a look here in my basket to see if I have anything to pin my hair up with. I think I took all my hair elastics out, unfortunately. Yes, I did. Okay, well, I'm just going to tie my hair in a bit of a knot. So when I go to secure a wig, and I wasn't prepared for this, so I didn't even ask him to bring down a wig grip, which I should have done, but I didn't. If you're new to alternative hair, let me tell you, your partner is going to get to know alternative hair as well. My husband is something of a connoisseur of wigs now. So you put your own hair into like some sort of clip or something like that. And then I usually wear a wig grip, but we're just going to put this on without. So to put this on, we're not going to use combs or clips or anything like that. I'm just going to dive in head first. Tuck in my hair at the back. Flip over. And then use these side ear tabs to move the wig into place like that. And then what I like to do, because I have a little bit of bio hair, there's a hair stuck there. And then because I have a little bit of bio hair, I pull my bio hair out on the sides. So then it actually does look like my own hair is just, you know, poking through, and it makes the wig somehow even more natural to me. So that's how a wig works. So this one is not like, I left the lace a little bit long because this one was just for me to try on. So I left the wig's lace a little bit too long. So you can see it there lifting, and you can see a color differential and all that. But those are the things that I would easily conceal if I was going to be wearing this out of the house. I love this wig. Love, love, love. When I first put it on, there's a video of me on Instagram putting it on, and you can see like my genuine reaction to the color. It does have visible knots here. I don't know if you can see those. So those would have to be concealed with a little bit of chalk or a little bit of powder. I never wear wig hair off my face like this anyways, because I always feel like the lace is the thing that is more of a giveaway. So I always kind of wear the hair styled over the lace. And it just conceals it. So I don't know if that answered your question. Do you now feel like you have a sense of the difference between a wig and a hair topper? Oops. Oh my goodness, it doesn't want to go in my curling wand. Hi, Kathy. Thanks for being here. It's good to see you. Oh my gosh, it's so nice to see familiar faces. I just love it. Saw Carlota earlier and Susie. What's the name of this one? This is Natalie. I don't remember her color because it's not a standard Uniwig's color. It's Natalie's color. So there's a link there. You can see what they called it. Does it air dry like toppers? Yeah, this is Burmese texture. So it will dry wavy, just like the toppers. But just like the toppers, you can get the Chinese human hair for their wigs. So it's just about making sure that you're getting the type of hair that you want in the wig. But they have a huge range of wigs. And I don't know almost anything about their wig side of the company. But what I do know is Uniwigs is a great company, and they're very efficiently run, very professionally run. They take their jobs very seriously. They take customers very seriously. So I guarantee you their wig side is excellent if you decide to go that way. Okay, let's see what we've missed. Does a closed lace show your front bio hairline? Okay, we are actually okay for questions. Does a closed lace front, what topper do you recommend that had curl in it? Anything that has Burmese hair texture is going to dry wavy. So if you're looking for like a natural curl, just get something that's the Burmese hair. And fortunately, the Burmese is a little bit less expensive. There's not a huge price difference between the Burmese and the Chinese, but there is a bit. So the Burmese is going to be more affordable. And if you have curly hair, you're going to love using it. Can you put it on the side? Yeah, great question. Great question. So anywhere that you see that lace when I showed you the inside of the cap, you're going to be able to part and still get that realistic look. Now, just like with the topper, it doesn't look super natural here because it's on top of my dark brown hair. But as soon as I put something light underneath, so again, with wigs, you can put scar tape just like you do for the toppers. It's going to create the look of natural scalp, which is so great. So yeah, you could part on the side. Side parts, just like with toppers, same thing for wigs. If you do a side part, it is like such a good cheat. No one knows that you're wearing the wig when you have a side part, I swear, because it just detracts the attention from the center where people are kind of looking at you anyway, and it moves it over, and then you really can't see at all that the person's wearing alternative hair. The only thing is parting it right now is hard because it's parted in the middle. So just like with your own hair, once you've parted it and it's dried, you can't move it until you wet it again. So if you want to move the part, you just spray it down with some water, blow dry it in the right direction, and you'll have your part moved, no problem. Okay, so that's Natalie. We'll take this one off. Are all these human hair? Yes, they're all human hair. Uniwigs does have synthetic options. They actually have really beautiful, I haven't tried them, but they have beautiful synthetic wig options for sure. And they have some synthetic toppers too. But everything I'm showing here tonight is human hair. It's either Burmese or Chinese, depending on what it is that I've just shown you. Where do I go to see and possibly order the wig? So it is, I think on my screen, it's showing up on the side here, Natalie. So Natalie is the name of this wig. The only thing, I just do want to show you those knots on the side. You do have to work on concealing them a little bit because it is a more budget friendly human hair wig. If you've ever seen human hair wigs, they can be quite expensive. But the color job on this is so professional looking. It's unbelievable. It looks so, so, so good. Like the blend is just, it's seamless. The Uniwig support team knows because as soon as I tried it on, I messaged my contact there and said, "What is this hair color?" It's so gorgeous. It's like a neutral, perfectly neutral, not quite ashy, not warm, just like this perfect neutral color. Okay, let's talk toppers for the last 13 minutes that we have together. Answer any questions that you still have about hair toppers. Do we want to see one in a ponytail? I've been wanting to show you that. If you're just joining us, welcome, by the way. My name is Ashley. If you have any questions about wigs, hair toppers, hair loss, we're looking at Uniwig's toppers tonight. It's meant to be sort of an intro. It has been an intro to wigs, to toppers, sorry, but I just looked at a wig, so now my brain is thinking wigs. But we just kind of jumped around answering questions about cap constructions and things like that. If you're looking to make a purchase, you can use Ashley15 to save 15%. And I have a range of different topper options here. So if you want to see like a monofilament versus a lace versus a closed lace versus a silk top or a skin top, you can ask away and I will show you whatever it is that you would like to see. Okay, let's look at putting a topper into a ponytail. There she is on my mannequin head. So this needs the halo wire attached, but that's okay. So this is the Upgrade Courtney lace front in moose brown. So this is the newest, I think the newest wig, or my goodness, I should never have put Natalie on because now I'm going to say wig. This is, I think, the newest topper that is shown up in the Uniwig's topper lineup. It is the original Courtney, like everything that we loved about it, in that it has the monofilament, it has the wefts, the same size, but now it has this lace for the people who wanted that easy transition area. And it's also a lighter density, which some women love. So I've been talking, I put on Savannah, it's a ton of hair. I think that looks amazing personally, and it gives great coverage and you don't have to blend your bio hair. So I'm a big fan of the heavy density, but there are a lot of ladies out there who were so excited about this. I just type in Uniwig's Upgrade Courtney lace and you will see the number of women who have been raving about this product. They're really excited about it. And I'm excited for them because I know what it feels like to not have the product that's exactly what is, what you need. And then when you get it, it's just like life-changing. So this is the lace front Upgrade Courtney. And so you can see here, I've already cut the lace relatively short. And so when I put it down on my forehead, it like melts right in. And that's the key. You want to leave about 1/4 of an inch is what they say, of lace. That's the rule of thumb. And I was so scared when I first started wearing lace pieces that the lace was going to fray on me. So I left more lace than I needed to. But what I've realized is if you're really careful with your lace, it will last a long time and it will not fray very quickly at all. And you can just take the smallest bits off. So now I cut lace a lot shorter than I used to. So you can see how easily I lifted that there, right? That's because I haven't glued it down. I haven't applied any adhesive. And if I put a halo wire, it would suck it right into place. That's not the right word. The tension would cause it to go right into place. But I'm not going to do that right now. I can do an updo with a halo wire, but I'm not going to do that for this one. I'm just going to put it into a ponytail so you can see what that would look like. where the topper is made. These come from China, I believe, overseas. The prices are all linked below for each of the ones that I showcase, because there's not one price. It depends on the piece I'm showing. So how much hair is in it, the length of the hair, the color, all of these things determine, because of labor, the cost of the hair. Differences between silk and monofilament and lace. That is a great question. Okay, I'll throw this in a pony and then I will address that question. The range is like anywhere from, so you can see there, the closed lace, Airy Elegance, I think is what they have up there. That one starts at $409, and then there's the discount code of 15%, all the way up to, I think, Savannah. I don't want to say for sure, because it's been a while since I've looked at Savannah, but I think she's probably about 7 something, depending on the length, minus the 15%. So it really depends on the topper and the construction and all that. So the other day, I had this on for content, and I threw it up into a ponytail just to see. And I was like, whoa, this is so cool, because as someone who has always gravitated towards larger toppers, putting them into a ponytail is a little bit harder, but doing it with this lighter topper, so easy. And I just thought it looked really cute when I did it. And then I put an Instagram reel out, and the feedback was so good. So many women said it looked natural. I wasn't sure, because when I put it on, I just thought, oh, this is cute. And then I hit record. I went back and looked at the video again, and I thought, it does look really good. It looks really realistic. So I want to show all of you now. I'll do a full turn for you to see. So it's a scrunchie, but whatever. What do you think? So you could do it with a claw clip, you could do it with a scrunchie. Do they have any shorter? So anything that you purchase here could have bangs in it if you wanted to add bangs. So all of the toppers will work with bangs. The silk tops and the skin tops are better because they have more in the front to work with for bangs, but you could get a wispy bang even with something like this. So here's in a low bun. It is realistic, right? So I'm thinking, we play pickleball twice a week, and I'm thinking this is, the thing is once you commit to wearing something for sports and activities, it's going to become your sports and activities topper, right? Because it's going to get gross. And I don't want it to get gross because I really like it, but I thought, my gosh, like this is cute, and it's ear tuckable, and I think it still looks natural when I do an ear tuck. The density is really natural. I really like it. So I'm thinking about having one that just becomes my sport one. I wouldn't have the face framing pieces down when I'm playing. Obviously, I would have to do the ear tuck. But even then, I just feel like it looks comfortable. It's natural. The density is so light that I can move my head around and not feel like it's tugging or pulling. And that's because this new version of Upgrade Courtney is a lower density. So it's a really good option if you want to do updos. And if you're a fan of Courtney already, the Upgrade Courtney, and you're looking to make a purchase, this might be a good option for you if you want a ponytail piece. So if you like the coverage of Upgrade Courtney, you may not love this piece to wear it down because it has less coverage overall. It's a lower density. Some people are going to love that, right? But if you are looking for a piece to wear up, lower density is going to be a key factor in determining the comfort, I think, on your head, right? Because it just doesn't tug, it doesn't pull. It's so easy to do. So yeah, back to the bangs. You can do bangs in any of these pieces. Okay, I'm going to spend the next couple of minutes talking about the difference between lace, mono, silk, and skin top. Here we go. Okay, I need one of each. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with silk? Let's start at the most dense, heavy thing and then work our way into the lighter pieces. Let's do that. Savannah, here she is. Okay, so silk top, silk material like this, and the hair goes into it and then is kind of like cut out, not cut out, that's not the right word, knotted and trimmed and then covered, and what's left behind is a very realistic looking scalp. So you don't need to, the other ones I had to put my hand under to get that nice scalp color. Here, it just is always that. So you can put it on top of dark jet black hair and you're still gonna have a natural looking scalp, which is great. So that's the silk top. Silk top is going to be typically heavier overall. So I have put Savannah up in a claw clip, but it's just not as comfortable and light as this would be, right? This is the monofilament to lace. So we'll look at the inside of that in a second. So it's going to give more coverage. It's going to be a little bit heavier. It might be a little bit warmer if you run hot. I don't personally find that it's all that warm. Like it's not uncomfortably warm, but it's going to be more. There's also just going to be more hair at the front because of the way that the silk top is sewn. So you're going to end up with these pieces that kind of cover the ridge. So you don't end up seeing that harsh line, but it does mean that you're going to have hair that kind of falls forward. You can see that I've curled it away from the face to make it look natural anyways, but it's still there. Perfect if you want to add curtain bangs. Actually, it has curtain bangs with it. Perfect if you want to add full bang. You have a lot of hair that you can work with here to get that kind of look. So that's the silk top. Okay. The skin top is similar in that you have a realistic looking scalp. You see that? So I didn't have to put my hand underneath. No matter what, it's going to have a realistic looking scalp. And just like with Savannah, the silk top, the skin top can be parted anywhere in that area. So you kind of got like this area here, and then you have wefts. I haven't talked about wefts at all tonight, but wefts are just strips of hair. And then they're sewn in sort of this circular fashion to give you volume and bulk at the back of the topper. So when you move, you don't see the hair, right? It's like I have to really move it. So there's the wefts. The top part is the hand-tied part, although I think this might be machine with the skin top. But either way, it gives you that really natural look, and you can part anywhere in this area. You can't part in the wefting. So anywhere that you see this area, you can part. So that's the skin top. The skin top has a more like a rigid front hairline. It's a little bit less flexible, and so still looks really good. When I had this on, someone said it still looks great. You don't need to blend it, but it's definitely better if you have biological hair to blend the skin top. You can get away with a little bit more, I find personally, with the silk top. Then we move into monofilament, which is very similar to lace, but it's not lace. It's more durable, and it looks like this. And so this material, it does feel like lace in some ways. It's more breathable than a silk top or a skin top. It's sort of transparent. You can see through it, right? Which means you will need to use scar tape or powder or something if you want to get like that beige coming through, because whatever I put underneath, it's going to poke through, but it's going to be more breathable and lighter overall. So that's a monofilament, and it's nice and durable compared to lace. So if you want something that's a little bit more rugged, this is a good way to go. This is the Upgrade Courtney, by the way, in the color. What are we looking at here? Oh my goodness. We are looking at Dusty Ash Brown. Soft Dusty Ash Brown. It took me a minute. I've got all these lights over top of me. Okay, so that's the monofilament. Then we move into the most delicate material. So in terms of like sort of a robust material, silk is really it's really durable. Silk toppers can last a very long time with good care, just because the silk is not very delicate. When you get into lace, you're looking at a more fragile material. So it's going to be really light, really breathable, feel really good on the head, but it's also more easy to damage. It's easier for these knots to come loose. So you do have to go at it with a little bit more care, but this is the lace. So you can see it's even more see-through than the monofilament was, right? So nice for the summertime. If you live in a very hot climate, it will feel lighter in the head, but it's also going to have less overall density because of the way it's constructed. So you're going to have maybe just a lighter overall feeling and a little bit less coverage, but you can also get really good volume at the top where it's hand-tied. And again, it can be parted anywhere in this hand-tied lace area. Then you have the combo. So the combo piece is something like this. I didn't even put this one on tonight. This is Upgrade Claire. I don't know if she's called Upgrade Claire or just Claire, but it's a smaller topper. And it has the wefting. It has the monofilament top part that's durable. And then it has this lace front at the very top. And so that's like almost the best of both worlds, because you can't have an extended monofilament. So, because some of you might be wondering, well, why wouldn't you just do monofilament that's like longer and then it would sit on your front hairline? It would be too thick. You would see the transition area. The lace is what melts into the skin and looks seamless. It's the lace. So what they did is they took all the durability, everything that people loved out of this material, and then they just attached with this polyurethane strip the lace to the front. So it's like two different materials you got going on here, but this one's softer, a little bit more flexible, and then it helps to conceal that front hairline. So yeah, so that's what I'm wearing here as well. This is the Claire, it's a smaller top, but this is what am I wearing? Upgrade Courtney with the lace front. And so it has the best of both worlds. There's a monofilament here, but then you have the lace right at the front to make this supernatural transition line. Hi, Rachel. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Okay, so we're going to be wrapping up in just a minute or two, but do we have any final questions about any of these? Did I answer your questions about different cap constructions? Is there anything else that you would like to know before we close it down about anything related to hair toppers, the Uniwigs lineup, colors, cap constructions, wearability? This, by the way, is the one that I am feeling is the one to get if you are looking for updos. So it's the new Upgrade Courtney with the lace front, because it's light, it's ear tuckable, it is so easy to wear back into a ponytail. You can wear it down as well. Oh, thank you, Hopefulberry, for being, that's really nice. I really, really appreciate that you said that. I get so many jitters. Every time I do this, I think, what am I doing? I'm not qualified to be here. And then I find lovely, lovely women who are so supportive, and it's just the best. It's the best. Okay. Although I said earlier, this is like maybe not great coverage, but I'll do a full turn. It's still pretty good coverage. It's 110% density, this one. And I think that the original Upgrade Courtney is 120, maybe. So it's still good coverage. This is not as heavy, but it feels almost weightless on my head. So it's kind of a trade-off. And a lot of people would say that this is a very natural density, right? Because most of us don't have hair like Savannah. Although Savannah feels so great to wear. Can you cut a short front into a lace front topper? So like a fringe into lace, you definitely can. I mean, the whole point of getting the lace is that you would be able to have this really natural transition line. So I think the idea is that you wouldn't cut bangs into it, but you certainly can for anything. All of these toppers that I showed, it's just the amount of hair at the front is going to determine how thick of a bang you can get. So if you're looking for like a really heavy fringe, definitely go for something like Savannah, which is just so much more. Ow! I just got it caught on the, that's what I did. Where the little hair wire goes. So Savannah is gonna be like way better for a fringe, just because there's so much hair at that front to play with. Oh, thanks, Kathy. That's really sweet. So look at this. I mean, you could cut a bang into that, no problem. Oh, this one is just so fun. Savannah, she's such a favorite of mine. Can you part them anywhere? Yes. So any of these toppers that I showed you, anywhere in sort of like that hand-tied area or the silk area or the monofilament area, that's where you can part it. So you just can't part where the wefts are because you're going to see the wefts, but you really do have every single Uniwigs topper, I think, that I own. I'm just having a moment. They all have large parting areas. They used to make the original Courtney had a smaller parting area. I don't know if they still sell it. The original Courtney has a left monofilament part. There's a bit of parting area in there still, but on the whole, they do have usually at least a couple of inches of parting. And then if you want like massive, massive parting, you can go for something like Silk Essence, which I've always loved this one. And it has the whole thing is parting area, which is amazing. So if you want lots of parting versatility, that's a good one. Oh, I'm so glad, Arlene, thank you. I'm glad you learned something because, yeah, I know people say, it sounds so cliche to say knowledge is power, but when it comes to alternative hair, it can feel like a really steep learning curve, and it is and it isn't. Once you get the hang of things, it can seem like you learned a whole lot in very little time, but it's scary and it's an investment. So, you know, you want to make sure that the decisions that you're making are informed. So I hope that you acquired whatever you need if you're on the fence about making purchases, or if you're just new and you're trying to figure out how to wear the pieces that you have already. I hope that this live has helped in some way. This is what am I wearing right now? Sorry, I have to take it off to see. I'm looking in a camera screen that's so small. It's a Moose Brown. It's Moose Brown. Silk Essence in Moose Brown. So it's got lots of parting area. Here we go. Cute, right? I like this one a lot. It's also not maybe the best for the front hairline. Probably better to blend if you have hair to blend, or if you want to do bangs on this one. But I don't know what it is. It's light. I love the cap construction on this one. It's a really pretty one. Okay. Oh, thanks, Vicki. Welcome, by the way. If you are a newbie, like, welcome to the world of alternative hair. It's such a interesting place to be, because it's one that for some of us, at least for me, I resisted for so long and felt like I was throwing in the towel to some extent. And I had to wear alternative hair. And now, with 6 years of wearing alternative hair behind me, I feel like it's such a luxury to be able to do it. I feel lucky to wear alternative hair now, which is really wild because I didn't think that I would get there. So if you're new, just lean into the community, because there are so many wonderful people who are so willing to help and share. And I'm glad that you showed up for this. And if you were here tonight and we talked about some tips and tricks and barber Velcro and all these little things, if they work out for you, please let me know. And if they don't work out for you, please let me know, and we'll try to find something that does work. This is Moose Brown Silk Essence. I think we're going to wrap it up if there are no more questions. I'm a little bit over time, and I said I was going to keep it short tonight. But we will be back again next month. Actually, there's lives all the time happening with Uniweek, so check in on their pages, check in on their Instagram, because they will let you know when those are happening. And there's different topics all the time. But I will be back at the end of February with some more topper content, and I will try to keep it fresh. I'll answer your questions, of course. If you have questions, feel free to write them down and ask anytime. Uniweek support is really good for that as well. But then also pop by next month. We'd love to see you again. And if you do end up making any purchases, Uniweeks does sometimes have promotions on their website. I don't know if there's anything up there right now, but Ashley 15 should save you 15% at checkout if there is no current sale on their website. And we will hopefully see you in the next live. Thank you for being here. I really, really am so grateful that you spent time and that you were so welcoming and kind in the comments and so helpful with one another. So thank you. We'll see you again soon.